Is there anything that can, do you think there can be any legal impediment if someone says, look, I want to go to court and challenge the government to release the names of those suspects, because you're not saying that they are guilty. You're only giving us an account of how the investigation is proceeding, so tell the court to compel them to publish those names. If that happens, would anything...
No, if you get a court order under FOI Act compelling the government to release the names of those persons who either voluntarily surrendered money or, paid in some money to the treasury, the government can obey the court order and release their names in obedience to court order, so that at the end, none of those persons can accuse the government of playing to the gallery or, falsely announcing their name for the purposes of embarrassing them or members of their family.
Because right now, people are already accusing them of shielding those names, because who knows who they may be connected to already.
No, it's not the reason. I think it's not. It was based on sound legal advice that the persons whose money are in the custody of the government are deemed innocent. They have not been convicted. You have not had plea bargain with them, whereby you can announce. So for now, it is premature. And I'm telling you, at the end of the day, when will be the end of the day? It will be when the government, maybe in the next 6 months, have either done plea bargain or done trial and convicted some of them. Then they will announce the names of those. It's still an ongoing. They will be, I believe the government will be releasing these figures from time to time, because the amount will either be rising or will be going down, depending.
But then people can...
Because some of the money that you are recovering from the homes, you don't know whether those foreign currencies are even fake. You have to even check.
What's the difference between what we're going through now with this list and some other names who are already in court?
Well, in court...
Because those ones, they're still innocent until proven otherwise by the law court. It's almost the same thing with those...
Let me illustrate my answer. Channel television has a policy. I believe other media houses do the same. You don't show the faces of suspects being paraded by police. Why do you do that? Because they are still innocent. Even though social media has destroyed that, you see everything on social media. But I know that for the channel or other serious television stations, they shield the faces of those suspects, because tomorrow they will be discharged and acquitted. But if you have shown their true face, somebody will use it in future against them. So that's the presumption of innocence that the media house is applying. It applies also to those people whose money the government has recovered, or who our money or our loot, their loot that the government has recovered. They are presumed innocent. So, notwithstanding that we know that they are being tried in court and their names as accused person is well known to all and sundry.
If they are still presumed innocent,
yes,
should we call their monies recovered? Shouldn't we just say they returned the money? Why call it recovered?
Well, technically, it's not recovered.
If you say
technically,
okay.
For me, we will call it exhibit money. It's like, let me give you another example. The Ibori money, the $15 million. You know, it's part of the money now. The $15 million that was to be given as bribe. It was now subject of litigation between Delta State and some individuals. You remember at Federal High Court. At the end of the day, the court, even the Court of Appeal, affirmed that the money should go to federal government, because they are the one that recovered the money when it was brought to Ribadu's office. As at that time, it was an exhibit money. But today now, it is recovered. It's recovered money.
Looks like a clever move by the advisors of the government, because so many Nigerians, or few Nigerians, were surprised that it changed all of a sudden from loot to recoveries. They were very careful not to use the word looted funds. They just said recoveries.
You see, it's a mixture of various sources of money. The money that came from abroad, if Interpol has helped Nigerian government to repatriate some money from Switzerland or from Panama or all those islands, it's recovered. All these are better. That's why better money is called recovered.
You also use the word suasion, so perhaps those people that they've been able to talk to bring the monies,
yes.
So it's also, it falls within recovered.
If you convince them by suasion or persuasion, and they bring their money out of their safe and give you in order to have their freedom, because from the way I'm looking at things now, the government is more interested in recovery, not in jailing those people, because Nigeria needs money.
This style of the government, sorry to cut you there, this style, do you think it will encourage more people? If the government decides to stay on this and say we will not name names, we'll just go out and see what we can recover, do you think it will kind of encourage some others who are still being investigated to say, okay, I have this X amount within, I'm going to surrender this to the government, since I know I won't be mentioned?
I believe so. It will encourage more of those persons to return their loot, because if you mention their name, you have done the worst. As far as they are concerned, you have done your worst.
Even though it's interim reports and you haven't adjudged them guilty?
Yes, you have done your worst. First, they may engage a lawyer to go to court and sue the government that without being found guilty, you mentioned their name in the media as having returned money, whereas it was money that the EFCC recovered from his house, a money that belongs to his client, or if he's a lawyer, or a money that belongs to his wife.
That's if they didn't give any statement before returning the money.
Which statement? He will just sign. When they recover money from you, if it's hard cash, you will sign on the warrant that on so date, the following will recover from my house. That's what you sign. But if it's something that they got from the bank by way of interim forfeiture, they cannot also call it a recovered loot, because the trial, that forfeiture is pending the conclusion of trial. Until that trial is concluded, you cannot tell Nigerians that you got this money from Mr. A.
Okay, Mr. Ike, there's this thing that happens sometimes. You open the papers and you see some organizations publish the names of certain staff, maybe locate their staff that they are wanted for investigation and all of that. They're still innocent, but they've been published out there.
No. It won't be the organization publishing. It will be the police.
I'm coming, because there have been adverts in papers that this member of staff is wanted for one thing or the other for investigation by companies publishing the papers. And you say, as the Constitution says, they are innocent until proven guilty. But in this case, you're saying the government is right for not publishing these names, even though they've collected monies from them as evidence that they are being investigated. I mean, why are we going back and forth?
No, the illustration you gave is not apt. One is that publication couldn't have been by the company saying this person is wanted for theft or for one offense. It must be the police that will put, and what they are publishing is that the person is wanted, not that the person has committed.
Companies
He's
have
wanted.
done that publication.
The staff can sue the company. The staff affected can sue them for libel. You cannot publish somebody's name and say he committed a criminal offense. That's the highest form of defamation.